got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Hello. How are you, Ed?
I'm very good, John. How are you this fine evening?
I'm good. Can everybody hear us all right, chaps? Everybody in the troll room? Give us an audio check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
You're so professional. Anyway, cheers. What's your tipple this evening?
So the tipple, I've actually gone off on a limb because I was looking for a Pinot Grigio when I was in the supermarché earlier today. But unfortunately, I couldn't see one that I fancied. There was only very, very cheap ones, and I don't like to buy very, very cheap wine because,
No.
you know, you've got to be careful. But so I ended up with this Vognier. And it's not an expensive one. It wasn't. It was, what is it? It's a Connoisseur Bicicletta. Vognier. And it's actually quite nice. And it was reduced. You know how they always put specials on? Even in Scotland, you're allowed to put specials on your wine. So it was down by a quid or something like that. So I thought, I'll have that. And it's nice. And what are you on? What are you drinking tonight?
Oh,
Ed?
I've got basically a cheap bottle of Waitrose Spanish Red because it's midweek and I'm going out to Dungeness tomorrow to see my brother. So I bought some expensive ones to take with me.
Right.
But I'm just on the cheap. It's like $4.95, but it's actually really acceptable. It's not. It doesn't taste like a super cheap bottle of wine. So
that is cheap.
It's drinkable.
Okay. You didn't have
It's
to.
got alcohol in it.
You didn't have to. You didn't have to warm it up and throw cloves in it to make to make it drinkable.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Right. Okay. So what we're going to talk about tonight, and you know, I think maybe I misled you by saying Mysterious Monoliths because we're not going old. We're not going that far back. We're only going back to 2020.
Okay.
Right. So, what?
Interesting. Well, it's a different format tonight, so
yeah. So
I'll let you lead the way.
What I'm looking at is, do you remember in those dark days when everybody was kept in their house and you weren't supposed to go out or visit people, and then suddenly things started appearing, and I think we'll show the first one. And the first one that popped out of nowhere was apparently in Utah, right? This 10 to 12 foot high slab of metal appeared in Utah in a canyon, and it was firmly embedded in the ground, like it was sunk right into the ground and had been put there with some kind of force and engineering delight. So
yeah, I'm looking at different pictures of it now.
So now the thing that gets me is it's nothing like the 2001 monoliths, you know, which were big black slabs, which I think Kubrick was intimating that they had some kind of alien influence over the apes that were clustered around it, and gave them the idea to evolve into basically us, and then we went on to conquer the stars.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
this one was seen by a crew who were out on a helicopter doing. They were looking for cows or sheep or something like that. Not for nefarious means, just it was their sheep and they were looking for them. And they saw a metal glint coming from the canyon floor, and they thought, well, we'll have a look at that. And they went down, and they found this monolith. Now the thing is, it's it's like, how did it get there? Because it's really in a place that was only easily accessible by helicopter. You'd be struggling to get in there with a vehicle. And it would certainly be a long trek to get there. And how the hell would you carry, a 10-foot slab of metal? And this one in particular was very well made. It was like seamless almost. It went down into you couldn't see the join between the ground and it. And it was very well anchored. So it turns out that this one may have been there since 2015 and was only discovered in 2020. So then one appears in Romania, of all places. Not that long after it. So this one wasn't quite as well made and wasn't as well anchored. So this one, the first one in Utah was found in November 18th or something like that. The second one in the Romanian city of Piatra Neamt, which appeared on November the 27th and disappeared on December the 2nd. And the third one was Pine Mountain in Albuquerque.
California? Oh.
Albuquerque.
I'm looking here. I found an article in the Insider that says at least 87 have appeared around the world.
Yeah.
I can see what you mean about the Romania and the Utah ones. Here's an interesting thought that just popped into my head relating to how they got there. How the hell would you attach that stainless glass smooth thing to a helicopter? You've got no anchor points. You could try a strap.
Yeah, a net of some kind, maybe.
Oh Christ! Sorry about that.
That's good. I was going to say
went down totally the wrong way. I normally hit the mute button on my headset, but I had a moment.
Yeah,
I do apologise to the listeners for that.
It's all right.
Bit of throat thing.
We just didn't want to see you expire.
I got coof on the throat.
I mean, an expiration.
Oh no! Don't worry. There's no danger of me dying suddenly.
Expiration on a live stream wouldn't do the channel any good at all.
No, if I'm gonna go, it's not going to be in front of an entire audience. No, that was
11 people.
No, I don't know. Well, they're missing out. Screw 'em.
Yeah. Right. So it seems that.
But thank you, 11 people who are.
We are touched by your concern. I haven't even mentioned your near-death experience in the troll room. So.
Oh, they don't care. No, Whatever. They're probably not even paying attention.
They're probably talking about fluffy things and cats and stuff like that. So the first monolith was discovered in November in a remote desert canyon in Utah's Red Rock country. Helicopter crew counting bighorn sheep, I knew there was something to do with sheep, noticed a flash of metal looming up from the ground and flew down to investigate. And there it was, deeply embedded in the red rock of the canyon floor, an enormous smooth metal triangular prism. Well, it's not a prism if you can't pass light through it, is it? That's not right. It's a smooth metal triangle.
Yeah, I mean, they're very. I'm looking at some pictures of them now, and I mean, I can see the one in Utah. I can see the one in Romania. I see what you mean about it not being quite as smooth and perfect. And yeah, I mean, it's very strange.
So the video was released by the Utah Department of Public Safety. And the video goes on to say, the intrepid explorers go down to investigate the alien life form. I have this theory that all Americans are just born actors. They're just born to act, aren't they? I mean, everything is like an addition to them. As soon as they see, oh my God, did you see what that guy just did over there? Yeah, I mean, everything's a bloody. It's as if they're in a play. Anyway, So the canyon is remote and inaccessible without a helicopter, Utah's Division of Wildlife Services told New York Times. It's a tough place to get to on vehicle and on foot. Well, either is it's inaccessible or it's a tough place to get to. It can't be both, right?
Well, but yeah, that's just, I mean, that's also media wonks and
Yes,
government
I
wonks.
know,
I mean,
I know.
we're not exactly talking about the sharpest tools in the box here.
So the Department of Public Safety added they had no idea how long the monolith had been there. Although Reddit sleuths, well, that's an oxymoron. Reddit sleuths. That's like saying Facebook fact checkers.
Although there are some, I mean, Reddit generally is a big pile of dookie, but there are a few subreddits that have some. I mean, there are some interesting people on there, and there are some people that put a lot of effort into what they put their effort into. But
So,
yeah, I mean,
right.
just looking at some of the pictures again of where this thing was found.
Yeah, the Utah
you
one.
never get. I don't see how you could get this thing up there in a truck or a land vehicle.
Oh, there's
as
no
they say
doubt
in America.
They must have used a helicopter. So anyway, Reddit sleuths used Google Maps to work out it was installed sometime between August 2015 and October 2016. So the Utah Department of Public Safety announced an unusual find on Facebook and appended a cheeky alien emoji, as you would, you know. Yeah. And the story just blossomed from there. So a mysterious artifact that is an art project, but also maybe from aliens. It's not from aliens, people. I hate to tell you. It's not aliens. So,
I don't know.
No.
I mean, apart from anything else, just you're not going to fly however many million light years,
yeah.
just or travel interdimensionally with a giant bit of stainless steel, which is inevitably causing weight in your spacecraft, just to leave it in the middle of the desert where nobody's even going to find it unless they really go looking for it or happen to stumble across it.
I'm going to put some alien art on planet Earth, Dad. I'll be back in the morning. Right, so anyway, base jumper Andy Lewis and adventure guide Sylvan Christensen filmed themselves removing the monolith from the desert on November the 27th. What a pair of spoil sports. They say they did it for environmental reason. Wait to hear this.
What?
Wait to hear this.
Oh, that sounds like no. That sounds like we are. That I mean, that's just like treasure hunters.
Yeah.
Or
quote. This land wasn't physically prepared for the population shift.
What? People just come out with some utterly unimaginably ridiculous bollocks sometimes.
Well,
I mean,
what I think they're saying was that people were going to flock to Utah to go and see this. It's in the middle of the desert and only accessible by helicopter. I don't think it's going to be a big tourist draw.
how do we know these guys weren't the ones that put it there just to get loads of likes and clicks on social media?
That's possible. That's possible.
I mean, humans in 2023 will do the most unbelievably idiotic things.
This was 2020.
Go viral.
This was 2020. They took it away. Let's be clear: the dismantling of the Utah monolith is tragic, and if you think we're proud, we're not. They wrote, "We're disappointed. Furthermore, we were too late." But the very day the Utah monolith disappeared, a new monolith surfaced. On November the 27th, Romanian newspapers reported finding another monolith outside the city of Piatra Neamț, on the plateau of I'm just murdering these pronunciations, but I don't care. Like the Utah monolith, the Romanian monolith is a vast triangular prism. It's not a prism, you can't see through it. Anyway, 10 to 12 feet tall, but where the Utah monolith had a flat reflective surface, the Romanian monolith is covered in looping lines. And there's a welded seam near its base. A welded seam.
Oh, I mean, yeah, the Romanian one does look.
So the
I mean,
Romanians,
certainly from the surface, looks like it's roughly the same
yeah.
dimensions, but
So the Romanian one, the Romanians weren't that bothered about it, right? Because they said, "Hey, we're actually hoping maybe a monolith based tour or something will do some good for the town." But it wasn't to be, because 4 days after it arrived, the Romanian monolith vanished overnight, and its disappearance remains a mystery. On the same day the Romanian monolith vanished, a new monolith appeared in California at the top of a mountain off a hiking path. The Californian monolith is another triangular construction, 10 feet tall and about 18 inches wide, around the same height as the Utah and Romanian monoliths, but a little narrower, a little slimmer. Californians have always got to be that wee bit slimmer than everybody else, haven't they? Like the Utah monolith, it is a smooth surface and it appears to be made of stainless steel. Unlike the Utah monolith, though, it hasn't been embedded into the ground. A hard push could topple it over. And on December the 3rd, that's exactly what happened. A group of young men drove 5 hours to San Luis Obispo County, live streamed themselves destroying the monolith on the blockchain site DLive. Dressed in camel gear, night vision goggles, and I don't know why it says this, but Trump paraphernalia, the group chanted America First and Christ is King as they rocked the monolith back and forth.
It was either going to be Trump or Putin.
So apparently they also said in a statement, "We don't want illegal aliens from Mexico or outer space." A man in the video said, "So let's tear this bitch down."
Yeah. Just this is on a par with what I've come to expect from my fellow humans.
Yeah. So
yes.
Once they brought the monolith to the ground, they put up a wooden cross in its place and then dragged the monolith down the mountain. It was fine because it was funny, a man said towards the end of the stream. Okay. I suppose that's like our show, Ed, isn't it? It's fine because it's funny. So, on December the 4th, the Californian monolith returned. So, we don't know
Did they put it back, or did it walk back itself, or float back? Or
unlike Utah and Romania monoliths, we actually know who's responsible for the Californian monolith. It was built by Atascadero residents Travis Kenny, his father Randall Kenny, Wade McKenzie, and Jared Riddle. They're local metal artists, non-musical type, and they were inspired by the appearance of the other 2 monoliths. Figuring there are 3 monoliths in 2001: A Space Odyssey, they decided to complete the trilogy themselves, and after it was torn down, they decided to bring it back. So there we go. It was meant to be something fun, a change of pace from the kind of conversations 2020 has been plagued with. So much negativity and separation among the people in our country, Travis Kenny said in a statement.
So, I mean, there's no doubt that these things are there, but
then
I'm struggling to understand the logic.
On December 7th, a 4th monolith appeared in Albuquerque, New Mexico, this time in the parking lot of an REI. I don't know what REI is. I don't think, is Amy in the room? No? Anybody know what an REI is? Is it a shop? And on the same day, it was torn down. In video circulating social media, a group of people can be seen beating it to the ground. And witnesses say that before that, they were beating it with sledgehammers. It's like Luddites, isn't it? It's like the Luddites.
I've just seen a picture of the Albuquerque Police Department, all very masked up in a very masculine fashion, with this monolith in the back of a pickup truck, a police pickup truck, I should add. And it's definitely hollow. So if it's not, I mean, do we know whether they're all hollow or whether they're, because it makes a difference as to, I mean, it'll make a big difference to the weight as to whether it's
Yeah.
a solid
Well,
block of stainless steel or whether it's
there's a few theories, right? There's a few theories because the Utah one, they reckon, has been there since what, 2015. So, and that's never been found, so they don't know who put that one there. But one popular theory about the Utah one is it's close to some of the shooting locations for the HBO drama Westworld, and suggests it might be a leftover prop or a prank by a member of the Westworld crew. Another
Right.
theory suggests the monoliths are an anonymous art installation, with the Utah monolith created by one original artist and then a series of copycats following. And then the question is, who was the original artist? I mean, you know, artists do these strange things. Look at this odd thing, right? That's the spiral jetty in the desert in Utah or something like that. You know, on a salt flat, and
True.
you know, they do these. And have you seen the one where the woman put all these statues in the surf, and people were freaking out.
I've seen all sorts of things. Yeah.
You know, people are freaking out, going, "There's people down there in that surf. They're going to die." They're not people. They're statues. So, you know, people do all these sort of weird art installations and you know, you don't know if they're real or not. But this one, I mean, somebody suggested a viral marketing campaign, but it can't really be that because nobody knew about it. It'd been there for 5 years and nobody mentioned it, you know, before they found it.
I don't see how it could be any kind of, if it was a marketing campaign, then you generally you do a marketing campaign to draw attention to a brand or product or some nonsense the government is trying to push. Yeah. But it involves actually taking credit for it. I mean, it's the same with an artist. If it was some artist that did it, you would think that there would be some interview with the person, or they would have written some waffle on Substack or something about how the light reflecting off the desert and the steel had some sort of airy-fairy meaning or something. But I mean, if it's some sort of stunt, if it's publicity stunt, you failed massively putting it somewhere. It's not going to get any publicity.
Yeah. Right. Let's. Sorry. Go on.
No. Go on.
Well, I was just going to catch up with the chat and see what they're saying. So, because there's been quite a lot of chat about it. Good grief! So Beats and Tapes says his bottle tonight is a bottle of Euro Shopper Glucose Sparkling Cherry. That sounds disgusting. And you're welcome to it, Beats. Rob Bruce says you should try the Becca Valley Vino from Waitrose. Good red.
I've had that one. Very nice. Yeah, good recommendation.
Beats and Tapes said the shop didn't have orange juice. Andrew said something about wouldn't have lasted being at the scrapyard. Rods from God weapon system? No, I don't think so. If it was rods from God, that's the way they fire those. Yeah, they're not going to fire triangular stainless steel.
I mean,
especially if it's hollow.
I mean, the Albuquerque one definitely looks hollow. I can't speak for the others because I haven't seen any pictures, but I mean, it's a whole different, to me, it's a massive difference between whether it's hollow or whether it's solid, because apart from anything else, if it's hollow, you can get a big sheet of stainless steel and you can bend it in one of those giant metal presses, and then I guess a really skilled welder, or maybe one of those robotic welding machines or something, potentially, if it was stainless steel, you cut the edges,
you could maybe form it into a tube, so it's not having to be welded, but instead of a tube, it's formed into a triangle.
Yeah, you could do. I don't know how you get the nice angular edges on it. If you were essentially, what you're saying is you press a triangular whatever it's called through a sheet of stainless steel, and you bend the steel around it. Seems like that's kind of as much overkill as casting it from a whole solid block of stainless steel.
Yeah.
Because I thought when I first saw the picture, for some silly reason, I just assumed it was an actual solid block.
Yeah.
Which would be incredibly heavy. I mean, it would probably be difficult to move something like that with a helicopter as well.
Yeah, I think it's got to be hollow. It's too heavy to be solid.
But I mean, apart from, I realised that since 2020, I've just gotten progressively more and more completely mental. But I mean, this is. I honestly struggle to. Aliens? No, I don't believe that for 1 second. Attention seeking? Maybe, but when one's kind of attention seeking, you generally do it to draw attention to yourself and to gain notoriety or followers on Twitter or followers on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not to make any money off social media because clearly nobody's made any money off it.
Yeah, well, actually, there's more to come. There's more to come. Who could
keep going.
Who could possibly be responsible for it? They're talking about crop circles and things on the chat, and I think we'll have a look at crop circles because there was a couple of guys from Wiltshire claimed they'd done some, but no way they'd done them all. And there are a few strange things about crop circles, that I think we haven't looked at crop circles, have we?
No, we haven't.
No, but I think we will look at it at some point. Yeah, because there are some strange things about
crop circles. Is a good topic for a future rabbit hole for sure.
Yeah. Right, where are we? Let's see. I think I'm more or less up to date. Right. Okay. So, the prankster art collective, The Most Famous Artist, has taken credit for both the Utah and California monoliths on social media. The group is even offering an authentic alien monolith for sale on its website for $45,000. But shortly after The Most Famous Artist made its claim, Travis Kenny, that we spoke about earlier, and his group took credit for the California one, posting images of them constructing the monolith to prove it was them. So it's still possible The Most Famous Artist was behind the Utah monolith, but this development casts severe doubt on its claim over the California one. That's true. There's still a monolith for sale on its website, though. A strong early contender for the original artist behind the Utah monolith was a minimalist sculptor John McCracken. I hope no relation to Phil, who died in 2011. McCracken's signature works were his planks, freestanding slabs of metal he would lean against the wall. That's a good gig if you can get it, innit? I'll just cut a lump of metal out, lean it against the wall. There you go. He believed his planks influenced the designer of the monoliths in 2001: A Space Odyssey. I don't think they did, mate. I really don't think they did.
No. I mean, they don't look anything at all like the
planks. No, I don't think you're right. He believed in aliens, and he wanted his work to resemble alien artifacts. Well, how about not making a plank out of steel and leaning it against a wall? A little more thought might have been better. He said once, it helped me maintain my focus to think I was trying to do the kind of work that could have been brought here by a UFO. Good grief. Sometimes, in my deepest days of despair, I wish I had been brought here by a UFO. And they'd come back and take me away.
Okay, so
right, sorry.
There need to be an intention happening. What the hell? That just makes no sense.
It makes no sense at all.
That's a person
Shalini,
who has.
Shalini wants one of them for her balcony.
Seems like a massive waste of space on your balcony, Shalini. Seriously.
And it's 10 foot tall, Shalini. That's like 3 times your height.
What would you do? And apart from anything else, the sun would catch it.
Yeah. Do you remember that
You know,
building?
causing traffic accidents.
But do you remember that? Remember that building in London that was causing cars to? It was causing their.
Was that the?
It was causing cars.
Was it the Shard?
No, I don't think
it was one of the ones with a funky name. It was.
I can't remember, but it was
Gherkin?
causing cars to burst into flames. Because
I remember
it was,
the story. I
yeah.
just can't remember
Yeah.
what building it was. It was the reflection off the windows.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been which one? The walkie-talkie.
The
I
walkie-talkie.
think
Is
they
that
call it.
That's not the Remington Razor one, no. What's the?
I think that might be the same one.
Right,
I think
okay.
we're just using different names for it.
Right, so Art newspaper noted shortly after the Utah monolith appeared that it bore a striking resemblance to one of McCracken's planks. Well, hold on, it's triangular. How the hell can it bear a resemblance to a plank if it's triangular? This is nonsense. Oh, good grief. McCracken's son, Patrick McCracken, thank God his name wasn't Philip, told the New York Times that his father had once envisaged setting up art installations in remote places for viewers to stumble upon in the wild. He was inspired by the idea of alien visitors leaving objects that resembled his work, or that his work resembled.
What?
Oh, what a Fruit Loop. The guy's a Fruit
Well,
Loop.
egomaniac Fruit Loop.
Yeah.
And trying to do something because you think that's what aliens might do. What kind of self-respecting alien race that is here observing the clown world that is planet Earth would even? I mean, if you're an alien race and you see saw all these crazy people running around, like, I mean, half of the planet seems to be violent savages at the moment. And you're an alien race and you're actually going to leave a calling card and let them know that you were there. It makes no sense.
Breaking further information. The tide has turned. The tide has turned against the McCracken theory upon reviewing photos of the Utah monolith more closely. Zwerner, this is the art critic guy, has retracted his original statement that he thought it was a genuine McCracken, and and concluded that McCracken, who preferred to make his sculptures by hand, would not have built the machine-made Utah monolith. There you go.
So it wasn't even that it didn't look like planks, that it was
So it's
machine-made. I mean, I agree that a human would struggle to do that with hand tools. You wouldn't be able to get it that smooth.
Yeah, I love the idea of this.
I don't see how.
Sorry. I love the idea of this being John's work, but when you look closely at the photos of the Utah monolith, you will see rivets and screws that are not consistent with how John wanted his work to be constructed. He was a perfectionist, Werner said in an emailed statement. While we know this is not John's work, I also know that he would have enjoyed the Utah location and would have been greatly appreciated the mystery surrounding this work. We all think it's a wonderful homage. My God, these guys have got egos the size of trucks, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they do, but I think it goes with the profession somehow.
Right, so have you heard of an artist called Zardulu?
No.
Neither had I. So let's just check in with the chat room. Beats and Typewriting Superman did it.
Oh my word, that's a creepy looking weirdo, man. The first picture that comes up. Of
yeah,
him
but nobody
on-
knows who she is. That's the thing. Right. So
Is
Zardulu.
it her?
Yeah. So Zardulu describes herself as a wizard and her work as a modern myth maker. So she likes to stage stunts and happenings that seem to exist right at the edge of our sense of what is plausible, and that then take off as viral news stories. For instance, the three-eyed fish in the Guanas Canal. Hold on. I think we maybe have a picture of the three-eyed fish in the Guanas Canal. Indeed we do. So this dude is a photographer or something, and he was contacted by email, and he was told to take the fish that she supplied down to the canal with a fishing pole, and then pull one out and tell people he just caught a three-eyed fish. And he did it. And filmed it. They're just fake fish. So, a raccoon riding an alligator in Florida, and she's also claimed credit for New York's iconic Pizza Rat. Do you remember Pizza Rat? What do you mean you can't see the pic? The pic's up. I can see the pic. Do you remember?
This Zardulu. I've just found her Twitter account.
Pizza Rat.
And she's got
there's a rat running down the subway steps dragging a pizza. And then there was Selfie Rat, which was apparently a rat taking a selfie with a dead man's phone. I don't know if it's true.
It's a proper nut.
Zardulu is a proper nut.
Looks like she's on the same sort of wavelength as Marina Abramovich, because I'm now seeing rather, weird.
Yeah.
Some people are very strange.
So, I think when she was interviewed, and she said, "I think you'll find the Utah one was installed at the height of my productivity in late 2015, she said. If you look back, you'll notice I talked a lot about my work in Romania, Bulgaria, and Macedonia. She was asked if she was taking credit for the monoliths, and she said no. Most of my projects aren't intended to have an immediate effect. I often leave things as objects to be found. Sometimes it's full documentation in the research section of a library. So she's the antithesis of Mariana Spring, isn't she? She is a misinformation expert. I often leave things as objects to be found. Sometimes it's an installation waiting for an unknowing audience. Sometimes that takes days. Sometimes it takes 5 years.
Well, she's about halfway between Mariana Spring and Marina Abramovich, which is
so
that's a whole new kind of. I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah, it's a whole new kind of screwed up, isn't it? In a sense, Zardulu's life's work is to plant false stories in the press. So I would take the suggestion she is responsible for the monoliths with a hefty heaping of salt. Nonetheless, it remains true that Zardulu was extremely active in 2015, and that was the Pizza Rat year. So that Pizza Rat was from 2015. And that Reddit sleuths, we're back to the Reddit sleuths, seem to have dated the monolith's arrival in Utah to 2015. Right, okay, so what else we got?
The Pizza Rat was that performance art.
Well, yeah,
because I've got a picture of
it's
a
rat.
Strange person in the new.
No, the Pizza Rat is a rat running down the subway stairs dragging a bit of pizza. So what the art installation is the fact that it was set up and filmed by the person, i.e. they gave a rat a bit of pizza and it dragged it down the stairs while they filmed it. I mean, that's art these days. You're getting it all wrong. You're getting it all wrong, Ed. Creating stuff on your computer and putting it out there for the world to look at. All you need to do is throw a pizza to a rat.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably gulls that do that on the south coast pretty much every day of the year.
Gulls are gals.
Well, gulls, but they probably
Yeah.
both do. Peter rat. I mean, if you do a search on Google Images for Peter rat, it's
Oh, you'll get
very
all sorts. Well, you careful now.
just
Careful now. You'll get all
very
sorts of stuff.
strange.
Part of me wonders whether it's related to how desperately we need social media and news that have nothing to do with the drastic state of our political affairs. And minimalism and a shiny metal surface is as far as it gets. Hey, who are we to? Who are we to say
Good
that?
it's as good an explanation as any other that I've heard.
Yeah, yeah.
It yeah, maybe it's just to get people wondering and talking about it. Who knows?
Well,
It's
that's exactly it, mate. That is that not what art's for?
well, I mean, to me, I guess it kind of depends because we don't have a very specific window of time for when this thing actually appeared. So to me, it's one thing that if it had been sitting there since 2018 or 2017 or whatever, if we're saying that it appeared sometime between 2015 and 2020.
No, well, no. They narrowed it down between April 2015 and what was it? Between April 2015 and October 2016. So it was put in place within that year and a few months.
Right.
So yeah,
But that's still, to me, it's different if someone knocked that thing up in 2020 when the whole world was locked down, and it would have been, relatively speaking, easy for a rich person with a helicopter to drop something like that in the middle of Utah,
yeah.
compared to pre-2020 when the world seems amazingly sane by comparison to what it does now.
Well, but was the world ever sane, really? I mean, if you think about
it's
it,
all relative.
yeah, it's all relative.
I mean,
because
it's
look at some of these wild
yeah.
art things. You know, they're all done at weird times and by weird people, and they just pop up out of nowhere. Some of them.
Yeah, well, people do odd things. I mean, people get the strangest urges.
Yeah.
I can't say that I've ever had an urge to erect a stainless steel triangular monolith in a desert somewhere, but
So,
I
but look what happened as soon as they found it. Copycats appeared. Boom, boom, boom. You know, just like that. And that kind of does happen. You know that.
yeah, but that's the internet age.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because of social media. It's because of I mean, it's the same as pinching other people's social media posts and passing them off on your own. Or
as I used to say, he has stolen my life's work and purported it as his own.
I mean, you only have to, but then you only have to look at TikTok for 5 or 10 minutes to realize the length that some people will go to in terms of making themselves look like absolute 24-carat plonkers, in order to get some hits or some likes or some advertising revenue off whoever. Or I mean, the world is crazy.
Yeah.
It seems to be getting progressively more crazy. So I guess things like this.
Yeah.
No, go on.
No, the finishing off from that article, the monoliths are works of art doing the purest thing that art can do, which is to push us beyond the boundaries of ourselves. Or maybe it was aliens.
That's the same as people who. I mean, it's the same as those wine experts who will taste a glass of wine and get notes of raspberry and chocolate and everything else.
Oh yeah, right. Well, hold on. Now you can get notes. You can smell. I mean, like some red wines, you get really good, like cherry, vanilla kind of smells, and and tobacco and you know the tartness of the tannins gives you similar feelings to certain foods and things. So, sorry, I'm beginning to sound like a wine
No,
snob.
it's fine. I was just thinking that it's representative how far people who specialize in particular things will take what they do. So, I mean, on that basis, maybe it's not so strange that someone erected a stainless steel monolith in the Utah desert. I mean, as soon as someone did one, you
Yeah.
can guaranteed going to get copycats. I mean, that's just the world that we live in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
But
well, I
in
mean, that's
terms of
it's exactly what happens. Look at Mr. Beast. There's hundreds of people out there copying him, isn't there?
yeah, absolutely.
Look at us. There's people out there copy us, believe it or not.
I know. Quite regularly, I've heard.
It's bizarre. I mean, it's like a recipe for failure doubled.
Well, people have to make their own mistakes.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, right. So that was.
I mean, the other interesting, just going back to the Utah one, because
Yeah.
I've seen a patch of the ground from where it was removed, and that looks like it was definitely hollow as well.
Yeah.
The one interesting point is about how far it's embedded in the soil. Now, if you put it in there from a helicopter, it's almost like they'd have had to drop it, unless the soil is so soft that the weight of the thing just over the time that it was on the ground, that it was laid down.
Well,
When they put it down, it ended up kind of sinking into the earth a bit because of the weight.
but right. So this is red. This is red rock, which is, I think, sandstone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the sandstone's kind of soft, but it's not. It's not really going to let the stuff sink into it. So I'm maybe thinking they kind of dug a hole and planted it, concreted it in, or something like that.
I mean, the pictures that I'm seeing,
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, it's Wikipedia, which is about as reliable as the BBC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Difficult to tell. Although, just in that picture, it does look. Actually, yeah, there's a chip. I don't know whether that's from the actual structure. If you look on, do a Google search for the monolith in Utah and go to the Wikipedia page,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
on that you'll see, if you go about 3/4 the way down, you'll see the picture of what it looked like when it came out of the ground, or the ground of where it was. And there's an interesting bit on the bottom end of the picture where, instead of it being a perfect triangular point, there's a bit that kind of sticks out. If you look at the picture, you'll see what I mean.
Wait, hold on. Is this the picture? Let me see. Oh. Yeah, it's almost. Yes, I see.
You know what?
Yeah.
That actually
Right.
That looks like someone's had an angle grinder. That actually looks like someone's taken an angle grinder to the rock.
Yes, it does. It does. Somebody's cut that. They've cut a slot in it.
Or some sort of other,
Let me see if I can.
like a rock saw or something. But it looks like they've cut out the shape and then stuck the thing in.
Let me get.
And then on one corner they've kind of over-egged it a bit.
Let me get a quick pic of this for you guys to look at. Let's go to. Hold on. Sorry. Let's see if we can just do a quick share. Oh, wrong one. Bear with me, people. Sorry. Keep talking, Ed. Keep talking. Keep them entertained.
Entertained? Me? I do my entertaining with pictures, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get the picture, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can just describe it.
There we
That
go.
it's.
It's up. It's up.
Oh, there you go. Cool.
So I think you're right, Ed. I think that certainly, if you can well, let me see. It takes a wee while for it to appear on the right. Yeah, there we go, people. So can you see? No, you can't see my you can't see my mouse. But I think down the bottom end you can see like an overcut. You know, if you were cutting with a circular saw or a grinder or something like that, you'd make an overcut, and that to me looks like what's happened there. They've ground part of the rock away to sink the plate. That's a plate, I think, that the thing's been attached to, basically. So, yeah, that's what I think. What say you, Ed?
Yeah. No, that's what it looks like to me as well. It's. I mean, to start with, you would struggle using human technology to force a hollow stainless steel triangle into the rock without basically destroying the
You
the
need
triangle. You wouldn't be able to. You couldn't drop it from. You couldn't drop it from an aircraft or a helicopter.
no.
You couldn't hammer it in because you'd completely distort all the metal.
Yeah, it's that's
And
it's been
that
cut.
does not look like it was. Yeah, that wasn't cut by an alien laser. That was cut by a
still
human
saw.
with yeah, possibly a drunk human with a saw.
Yeah, but it was cut with a saw. Yeah, but yeah, interesting nonetheless.
But it's also. I mean, the thing is, if you think about it, if it's a hollow tubular structure, I wouldn't be surprised if 5 stout lads could probably haul it up there.
Yeah,
Because I mean, steel weighs something, but that kind of structure, it's. I mean, if it was a solid block of stainless steel, there's no way you'd get enough people under it to be able to lift it up, let alone carry it to the middle of the desert. So theoretically, it might have been taken in overland with people power. But then, I mean, if you've got the money to create this thing in the first place, you've probably, I don't know, you've got a friend who has a helicopter or something like that. But then if you actually look on the satellite image of where it was found, you would struggle to, I mean, even a helicopter would have issues with that.
It's a pretty remote location.
I mean, it looks like there's also.
Hold on. I've got to. I'm going to put this. I'm going to put this picture up right briefly. Okay. So, the Bureau of Land Management, right, said we have vehicles parked near the Utah monolith on vegetation, causing resource damage close to the site.
What?
Look at
Vegetation?
it's fucking tumbleweed. It's literally tumbleweed.
It doesn't. It just.
Hey, that's literally tumbleweed. People have lost their plot these days. They really have. And no, that is not the Chasing Descent van. Oh, good grief. That's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, there's so much about this that has the air of the ridiculous. I mean, from why you would be. Why? I mean, who even thinks about it in the first place?
Ed, you're overthinking it, mate.
I know, but
you're
that's
overthinking it, right? Yeah, but you're going too deep. Come back.
And I think
come back.
That's what I do.
Come back to planet Earth. Come back to this earthly realm. Don't go to the light. It's not your time.
Have you seen what the earthly realm is like right now?
Yeah. I know. I know.
I'd rather.
Right,
I'm
this
just
is why I
going to be
drink.
away with the fairies.
I'm fed up knowing things. I just started drinking.
Mm.
Oh, so somebody posted
So,
a
I mean,
picture on Twitter the other day of a dwarf lifting weights, and I meant to I meant to copy the video because it was a lady dwarf, and she was actually quite hot. And I thought I could incorporate that into one of my videos, but I can't find it. So if anyone has seen the dwarf girl lifting weights, right? Send me a link and the Twitter Spaces, so as I can
the
download
Seattle
it.
monolith, if you look that one up, actually, I mean, that's the guerrilla art installation by Seattle artists calling themselves Some People.
Yeah,
And that actually looks like the monolith from 2001.
I see. That's better. That would have been
But I
cooler.
mean,
If you were going to do it
that
though,
is,
wouldn't that be what you'd do? You'd make some big
well,
black marble slab in the middle of nowhere.
yeah.
People would go, "Oh shit, I'm not going near that."
But then getting
Call
a big black
call
marble
DARPA.
slab up there would be even more difficult.
Yes, it would. But that just shows your dedication to the art.
Yeah. But I mean, with this Seattle one, they know exactly where it was forged and everything else.
Yeah. Oh,
So this is a very strange one. It's not the sort of rabbit holes that we normally explore.
no. Well, this isn't a rabbit
But
hole.
still
This is
fascinating. No,
this
that's
is
true. It's
extra
just carrots. Or
This is
extra monoliths in
It's
this
just
case.
meant to be a little. It's just meant to be a little snippet of the strange that goes on in the world. And let's face it, there's nothing but strange going on in the world.
Well, this is a nice example of some fairly innocent strange that's not that kind of threatening civilization as we know it.
Yeah, and it's not too mentally taxing. It's quite straightforward. And you know what? We managed to do an hour on it, mate. So I think we've done all right.
I think we've done quite well, actually. I thought it was quite interesting to explore. I mean, I will definitely keep my ear to the ground in the future, and you do the same. If you hear any more tidbits of information about it, then do let me know, because
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fascinated. I'm actually fascinated in who would go to all of that trouble and not publicize it or try and kind of claim ownership of it or whatever.
Yeah, that's interesting because, you know, you'd think if you're going to do something like that, maybe it was this guy McCracken. Because maybe he just put it there, or he left instructions for it to be put there after his death, and he just put it there, and it said,
Maybe.
just let somebody discover it. Maybe he was right. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe Elon Musk is using it to calibrate his Starlink satellites or something.
Don't talk to me about Elon Musk. I put another. Oh, no, I won't see it.
Oh dear.
Right, so next week we will be back with a real rabbit hole.
we will.
We'll be doing Moloch and
Bohemian Grove and some of the weirdness surrounding that. It's going to be quite difficult to talk about Bohemian Grove for an hour because it's a secret society. We've got
there's
the old
loads of
Alex
stuff
Jones
we can talk
video
about.
and there's plenty. I mean, there's plenty of stuff around it. I think it's going to be a really interesting one.
And we'll branch out because America's full of secret societies. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, I will touch on some of the others as well. I'll see how it goes with the actual Bohemian Grove research and putting the slides together and stuff. But I mean, there's loads. There's Skull and Bones, to name one.
Yeah.
And there's a female version of Skull and Bones at Yale that I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's interesting, and it harkens back to last week's rabbit hole about Freemasonry, which if anyone hasn't seen that, they should go back and watch that because it was a good one.
Did you see last night's show? No.
I didn't know. I was busy last night.
That's fine, but there was an owl in it at the end. And it was freaking hilarious, man. This owl had stolen a child's hobby horse. You know, the You know the horse's head with the pole, right?
Yeah.
So this owl was flying around the town with this hobby horse. It looked like a freaking witch.
Oh no!
It was hilarious. And somebody got a photograph of the owl perched. It was perched on a tree or something with the hobby horse underneath it. And then there was a cracking picture of the hobby horse flying through the air. It was a
I'm
scream.
going to look that one up. That's ow.
In fact, do you want me to see if I can pull it up?
Oh no, I've seen it. No, I've
You've
got it.
You got it.
Oh, that's funny.
It was absolutely unbelievable. So there we go. So I'd like to thank one and all for coming along to this extra carrot with me and Ed. I managed to screw up the last one and get it unmonetized because I said some bad words at the very start because I was annoyed with. Well, I think it was Ben actually who messed up the streaming, and my last extra carrot that was done on my own, nothing to do with you, Ed, was completely screwed up. But
that's a bummer.
Just gonna blame Ben. I always do.
Well, he's an easy one to blame because he just does so much wrong.
He does. He really does.
No, I'm only joking. And I just compliments to Ben on our new intro because I really like the new Down the Rabbit Hole intro.
Yeah, he's actually done a not bad job though. It's a bit light-hearted, but Ben is a bit light-hearted. But he's a nice chap. He'll be back tomorrow for All In. If I can make it, so we'll see how it goes. I've got to redo a seal on the van. So there's two big there's a big seal goes right across the front of it, across the top and down each side.
Mm-hmm.
And I've really got to redo them because I've been letting water in and it's getting into the kind of sandwich construction. So I want to redo the seals. So I really want to get it undercover because Scotland, it's never dry for any length of time. So I've managed to find somewhere that can let me put it undercover. But I've got to be quick because they're going to bring the cows in for the winter.
So you found a cattle shed, is what you're saying?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah. So I'll probably be stuck in a cattle shed for the next 2 days. So just as well.
So not only do you have to fix the seals, you also have to put up with the incessant smell of large amounts of cow excretions.
I was just about to say, just think you're so lucky that you don't have smell-o-vision.
Yeah, I'm lucky.
Oh. So Rob Bruce says, if you ever goes to Scots, definitely night out in the Beals. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Rob. Right.
Is there anything interesting in the chat before we go?
Let me see. Moloch is back, spelt wrong with a K. It's CH, Robin. CH for Moloch. Good God, do you not know your pagan gods? You know I'm joshing. Ben is on holiday in the caravan. Oh, right, yeah, that was in that show. I think we can go for another Our Size Beats and Tapes. No, we can't do that. I was up 7. Andrew says he daren't search for the dwarf's pumping iron. Walter, right, yep. Meth cooking. No, there's not an awful lot. They're having fun though. They said they said it's been a good show.
Excellent. Well, as long as the audience enjoyed it, that's the main thing.
Yeah, I think they have.
I had fun too, but
yeah,
whether we enjoy it or not is not as important as whether the audience enjoys it.
Well,
it's been a laugh, and it's been fun not having to do loads of research before.
I mean, some of them
pay. Episode as well.
Some of them pay, but most of them are freeloaders, so I really don't give a
now. Because John, you remember that conversation we had about you launching into one of your own audience? Yeah. Yes. Remember that?
But they love it. They love it, don't you?
Well, the ones that know you do, but
yeah, I know.
I mean, you might have some random YouTube person that's just stumbled across the video and thought that the monolith thing sounded fun, and has actually managed to put up with us for an hour, only for you to tell them that I don't know.
But
He's
no, I
Scottish.
mean, right. So, I mean, hey, you get this free. You get it free but well, it's not unspoken because it's spoken, you know, value for value. If you think we give you any value, give us a little value back. That's all we ask. That's all we ask. And a lot of people do give us value back. And, you know, the people that do, we really, really appreciate it. And there we go. And you can always do it down there. Oh, hold on, I need to get the camera in there, down there. At Ko-fi. That's the best way, because YouTube take 30%. 30%. See if you put a super chat in just now, right? And you paid a tenner, YouTube would take £3 of that straight away. Bang. And then you'd lose another 20% in VAT. Whereas if you donate on Ko-fi, that's a donation. So there's no VAT, there's no tax, right? And Ko-fi take, I think it's like 1.5%. Well, Ko-fi don't take anything. PayPal take like 1.5%. So it's pretty cool. That's the way to do it, people. If you want to. But no, hey, you know what? Everybody's struggling. We're here to give you fun. We're just trying to make our ends meet as well. But you know how it is. We're never going to give anyone a hard time if they can't afford it. And we're never going to say, you can't watch us. You know, we're free. It's up to you whether you decide to pay or not. Okay? And we'll always be free. Generally. Unless Ben does some sort of weird thing. But we're always
all of
playing.
my memes are free on Twitter, even if you have to. Yeah.
Are people allowed to reuse your memes without copyright, or?
Absolutely. I like it if people tag me. I mean, at least all of my memes will have a tag, have my tag at the bottom. Mm-hmm. I like it if people leave that on there. But apart from that, I mean, and sometimes I'll put out some of my little cut out characters. I did Bat Jazzer yesterday, Jacinda Ardern as a bat.
Yeah.
And in those, I just put them out there because basically do a bit of work, and some of the stuff that I get back with people using them in their own memes is hilarious. But memes are collaborative, so people can just share my stuff as you want. It's cool.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, and it's been great for us. Has it been great for you, Ed? Yeah.
It's been great for me. I've really enjoyed it. Yes.
Excellent.
I'll be back next week, and then I think we can keep doing the weekly one. Like I said before, I might not be able to do all of them, but it's a lot of fun. Enjoy it.
We'll come up with something. We won't let the audience choose the extra carrots. We'll just pick them between ourselves. Mm-hmm. Just you and me. Okay.
Sounds good.
Right. Okay. So there you go, people. Thank you very much. It's been great to see you all, and it's been great as always for you.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me.
I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I
shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build